gonna leave no damn go October 1st. We gonna leave tomorrow when we pay that goddamn rent. That was September 15th. Or whenever you turn in that fucking rent, that's when we're gonna move the up out of here. So we'll have enough time, enough money to come up and move to our next place.
No. Side of the video, your girl is back again with another story time. If you're to my channel, hey girl, hey. And if you're a returning subscriber, I don't even gotta say nothing because you know what's up, I know what's up, we know what's up, and that's on lit. That's on period. And Mary had a little lamb. As y'all can see by the title of the video, we're back again with another juicy story time. This story time is going to be more of a testimony than a story time. I feel like there were so many lessons in this story time. But y'all, before we get deep into it, I do want to give today's sponsor a shout out. So shout out to Joy Fade Nails for sponsoring today's video. They sent me these bomb acrylics, and I know y'all thought I probably just left the nail salon, but no y'all, these are press-ons and they're giving fresh set, baby. Like, look at these. So I want to show y'all a variety of nails that they sent me. They do have all different styles. You can get these from Amazon, y'all. They on Amazon Prime, so you can get them in 2 days, and they're affordable, y'all. They have these ones for $3.99, $4.99, $5.99. They're cheaper than getting them from like Walmart or CVS, and they're high quality. I had these nails on for 3 days, y'all, and I have not broke a nail yet. They make all their nails with high quality acrylic material, which means it's less likely to break or fade. Also, y'all, look at the different variety of styles they got. Used to be press-ons used to have like the basic styles, but no, y'all, it's giving nail art. Do y'all see the acrylic on that? The design on these French tip with pink, purple, yellow, so you can get a variety of colors. You can also do the ombre nails, y'all. These are very fast to put on. It comes with glue. It comes with the filer so you can shape it to your hand. Also, each nail pack comes with 24 nails, so if your nails are small, short, little, big, it don't matter what type of fingernails you got, girl, they got you covered because they give you a set of 24, not the cheap ones where they give you 12, but no, baby, it comes with 24, the glue in the pack. And if you don't want to put any glue on your nail, y'all, they also package each pack with this little clear sticker on it, so you can place this on your nail and then you can put that over the nail, and it works, y'all, just for like a temporary hold. But if you want to go somewhere and you want the nails to really last, and you want to, you know, tap and be able to, you know, do a little something, I would recommend using the glue that they put in the package. Like I said, I've had these on for 3 days. I have not broke a nail yet. They still look really, really good. I definitely would recommend them. All the information on this brand is going to be linked down below, y'all. Again, they have high quality nails, so go ahead and check them out, y'all. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this story time. So today's story time is going to be a subby story time, and I know y'all don't be really messing with the subby stories times, but y'all, I'm gonna tell it in first place again. First person, y'all. I'm gonna tell the story time in first person, and honestly, it would just be too much to read. The girl sent me like a novel. She sent me videos. She sent me recordings. This gonna be a juicy story time, y'all. Let's go ahead and unfold it. So I'm gonna go ahead and name, what am I gonna name her? Well, it's me, y'all, but I'm gonna name her hard-headed because she was real hard-headed and stubborn, and I felt like God was literally throwing signs at her left and right, and she was just blocking them. But let's go ahead and get into it. So a few years ago, I met my boyfriend of 6 years. This man had literally like ruined my life. Like, I honestly wish I never even met this man, because before meeting him, like, things was just easy. Although I was in high school when I met him, like, my previous boyfriend before him, he didn't give me no problems. Like, we didn't have any issues. Things was just a breeze. I ended up cheating on my previous boyfriend to get with this new boyfriend. We're gonna go ahead and call this new boyfriend, let's call him Booger. So Booger, I met Booger my junior year of high school, and when I first met him, he was like not my typical type. He was a bad boy, and I just fell head over heels from him. Like, he was the first person I lost my virginity to. He was the first boy I had ever seriously been with. Like, my previous boyfriends, I called them play boyfriends. Like, we would just, you know, butt dial each other, just talk on the phone. It was, you know, it wasn't really that serious. But with this one, I don't know, like, I was just very rebellious to my parents about him. Like, I wouldn't listen to any of my friends. Like, everyone was telling me, like, they didn't think that he was the one, but I just totally disregarded, like, my friends and my family over Booger. Like, I don't know, he had me literally in a chokehold. And the crazy thing about it was he knew it. Like, I would just be under him, like glued to him. Like, the first day I met him of junior year to fast forward to now, the situation, like, we had been glued, and you know, I was just attached to him. So fast forward throughout high school, like, everything was going great with me. He was a bit of like a player's boy. He was a ladies' man, and he was very, you know, flirty, and he was good with the ladies. And every so often I would have issues with him. Like, girls would come up at me like, oh, Booger was flirting with me, Booger was showing me some, Booger was this. And you know, I will always disregard it, because at the end of the day, my mindset was, at the end of the day, like, he's my man, he's coming back home with me. And that's just how I seen it. Like, that was my motto at that time, and it caused me a lot of trouble later, but we gonna get there. So fast forward, we went through junior year together. We went through all of senior year together. We actually graduated together. And by the time we graduated, we were living together, because my home situation was just terrible. Like, my living situation was terrible. My mom, she was not financially stable. So I had to move in with him and his people. When I moved in with him and his people, that's when I kind of feel like our relationship went down. Like, that was a very pivotal point in our relationship. And that's probably when I should have ended the relationship. But y'all, like I said, this man had me. This is me. He had me in a headlock. Like, I couldn't come up under him. Like, I just couldn't come off of him. I don't know what it was. Like, I don't know. I want to say that it was love, y'all, but I truly don't know. Like, nothing this man could have done to me to make me leave him. Like, he just had me in a lock. And I don't know. I just couldn't get out of it, y'all. So boom, I'm living with him, and I'm living with his family. Me and his family is getting really close, and I'm literally sharing a room with him. Like, it was bad. Like, his family was struggling, my family was struggling, but his family was just in a little, like, a better predicament than my family was. Like, it was me and him in one bed, and then his older sister also slept in another bed right beside me, y'all. And then we also had a bunk bed in this room. Like, it was just my living situation was bad. I'm not proud of it, but that's what it was at the time. And I feel like, once we moved in together, I feel like he knew that I needed him, and I kind of depended on him to kind of like live. Like, at that time, I was working at Krispy Kreme, and like, I didn't really have money like that. I probably was making, you know, minimum wage, $8 an hour. So I really didn't have money to get an apartment. And I was kind of just waiting for the summer to end, because I knew I wanted to go off to college. Fast forward, I end up enrolling into college, and me and him are doing a long distance thing. He ends up getting a temp job working at some construction site, and I'm in college, and my sister also lives in the area that I'm going to school at. Me and her, we're not super duper close, but she was helping me, y'all. Like, I moved up there, and when I moved up there, I moved in with her. Like, I just wanted to get out of my living situation. Like, my financial aid didn't even hit yet, y'all, and I was already moving off to college. Like, I was moving to the city where I was attending school before college even started, and Booger was back in our hometown. So I'm up there, I'm trying to, you know, figure things out. I'm applying for different apartments. I'm trying to get on like restricted living apartments. I'm trying to get financial aid. For that first semester, I'm just kind of like, you know, working everything out. My financial aid finally got approved, and, you know, things are starting to fall into place. Like, school is moving on up. You know, things are just ABC. Like, things are just lining up, y'all. Things are just starting to happen for me in school. I'm doing well my first semester. Fast forward with him, me and Booger, we're not doing good. We're going through a lot. Like I said, he's going through a lot financially because he's doing the temp jobs. I'm working at, I transferred my Krispy Kreme job. I'm not really making that much money. I don't even have money for like Ubers and rides and stuff, y'all. Like, the little extra money that I do have, I'm literally putting it back into my job, going back and forth. And I do have some friends back home in my hometown, and they're basically like, you know, basically saying their speculation about Booger cheating on me. Like, he has another girl. And like I said, I was already used to this. Like, in high school, he was a popular kid, and it was always something about him and another girl. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I was insecure about the situation. So I kept telling him for months, I'm like, hey, just come move up here with me, because I lived about 4 hours away from him, y'all. So I'm like, just move up here with me. Maybe the situation would get better. I kept thinking, like, if I moved the problem closer to me, the problem was going to disappear for some reason, y'all. I don't know why, but I don't know. That was just my ideology at that time. So I'm telling him to come up there, move, move, move. The whole time he's saying no, he's going to try to get more hours at work. He's applying for jobs. He's not vacuuming. He's lawnmowing people's yard on the side. Like, he's doing all these side gigs, and he's basically making it seem like, you know, he's coming up and his future seems promising. But y'all, he didn't really have anything. Like, he didn't have anything, but he's making it seem like, you know, things was working out. It was one break, I ended up going home. I think it was like, it was either Thanksgiving or Christmas break. I ended up going home. And when I got home, we got in this big argument because I went through his phone and I seen that he was texting like not 1, 2, 3. He was texting a plethora of girls. I was doing a lot of, you know, investigating. I had deleted all the girls on his phone, called all the girls, told the girls, you know, this is, don't call my man phone. This is my man. Like, how you got in his phone? I blocked him, cussed him out. Like, I was just really in an ugly place at this time, y'all. So I end up doing that. And again, I stuck beside him. I was queen of stick beside him. Like, Jada and Lil Baby, their situation don't got nothing on me because that's who I was at that time. And I really believe that he was the one for me. Like, I told y'all, this man had me in a chokehold. So fast forward, me and him got in that really bad argument. And that was when I really wanted him to be closer to me. And not because I thought it was going to be better for our relationship, but I honestly was just insecure. Like, I didn't trust him if I couldn't see him. And I thought by him moving to school with me, like, things was just going to be better, y'all. So I finally convinced him to move up to where I'm living at for school. And a little interlude, y'all, she did tell me where her school was at, but she told me not to disclose names of the schools and places, so that's why. But back to the story, y'all. So Booger ends up moving up there to school with me. And for the first week or so, you know, things are going lovely. Like, I'm cooking for him. I end up moving out of the apartment. I end up getting my own apartment. He moves in the apartment with me. And he's telling me that he's going to be able to help me, like, you know, pay bills with the apartment. So the first month I had already paid for the bill because I was literally in the apartment for 1 week by the time he moved up there. Fast forward to the second month. It's time for us to pay rent and to pay bills. And he don't have no money. He can't help me pay the bills. Excuse me. He's not helping me cook. He's not adding to the household at all. But like I said, y'all, I loved him and I wanted it to work so bad. Like, my mother had already told me that he was going to be my downfall, that I needed to cut him off. And at this time, I just couldn't see or picture my life without him. Like, I felt like life was not worth living without Booger. So we're trying to stick it out. Months are going by and I'm getting further and further behind with my bills. And like, literally I'm having to play tic-tac-toe with which bills I'm gonna pay. Like, I'm playing, like, is this bill, like, you know, I'm literally playing tic-tac-toe trying to figure out which bill I can afford to not pay this month, because things was just getting bad. Like, college was just really hard for me. And with all of this extra stress going on with me not being able to pay my bills, I'm picking up extra hours at Krispy Kreme, which later caused me to fall behind on my studies. So now I'm not even being a scholar anymore. I'm falling behind on my studies and I'm flunking. I end up flunking my first year semester. So now by the end of the semester, I literally have less than a C average and I'm on probation. I'm on probation for my financial aid. And me and Booger, we're still there and our relationship is not going terrible, but I just feel like I'm having to raise the man. Like, I'm having to take care of him. I'm having to feed him. Like, he's saying that he's going to get a job. He's going to get a job, but he's not really getting a job. And every time we have any type of talk about him getting a job, he always brings it back to like, oh, well, I don't have a job because of you. Like, you wanted me up here. Now I'm up here. I could have a job if I go back home. But like I said, y'all, I was insecure at this time and I wanted him on my hip because I didn't trust him as far as I can see him. So I'm telling him, no, like, don't go back home. Like, we gonna make it work. We gonna make it work. So fast forward to the second semester. Again, my studies are not getting better. I no longer have financial aid, so I'm no longer in school at this point anymore. And then me and Booger, we're still going through the same stuff. Like, we're still going through the same stuff. I'm barely struggling to like eat. I'm having to like ask my sister to borrow money. I'm having to ask my family to borrow money. And all of them are just like, why do I have to send you money when you living with the man? Like, where's this man? Like, I'm basically lying to my family, telling them that me and this person is not together because they don't want me to like take the money and the food that they're giving me to share it with him. But like I said, y'all, he was my rock. He was my rock. Why did that just pop in my head? What was that song? He was my rock. Y'all know that song applies. But yeah, that was my rock. So he ends up going back home because, like I said, he's basically pulling me down. Like, I was already struggling just to take care of me, myself, and then you come up here and I'm having to take care of both of us. So I kind of, I just finally, I caved in. Like, I gave up, and I'm just like, you know, F it. Like, you can go back home and do you. Like, we're still together or whatever, but he's going back home and he's working again, and the money that he's working, y'all, he's starting to finally like send the money back to me. So it's helping me stay afloat, but I'm still not getting ahead. So again, I'm no longer in school, but I'm still working, and at this time I'm really just trying to figure out like what to do with life at this time. At this point, I'm 22, and you know, life is just beating me up. Like, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with life. I was praying about our relationship, and I was literally just, you know, trying to make it work. So much was going on at this point. Fast forward to like maybe a week or so of me just being in the city that I'm currently, that I'm not currently in school anymore. One of my friends from back home, they hit me, and they're basically saying, hey, there's some speculation going on that Booger has another girl pregnant. Like, Booger is cheating on you. He been cheating on you for years. And it was coming from my non-messy friend. You know how like you'll have those messy friends, and it's always like, oh, we heard or they heard, and it's just like, you ain't hear nothing. This came from you. You said this. Like, you just want some tea. You said this. But this came from my non-messy friend. My non-messy friend hit me on some one-on-one. They said he got such and such pregnant, and at that point, y'all, I was delulu. Like, I didn't even look into it. I didn't care who they said he got pregnant, because why? He was my man, and that's like all that I cared about. And also keep in mind, at this point, we had been dating for 5 years. We were coming up on 6 years. Like I said, I'm a sophomore now, and I met him as sophomore in high school. Like, you know, well, I know I met him a junior in high school, but we known each other since sophomore year. So, you know, it's starting to get, like, the love is deep. Like, I couldn't picture my life without him at all. So when my non-messy homegirl hits me with this information, I don't really do any research. I kind of just like say, all right, and I just keep it moving. Like, I don't even mention it to him. I literally keep it moving. All I do is I pray about the situation, and I'm like asking God, like, I'm like, God, just please send me a sign. Send me a sign that he's not the one for me. Fast forward, it was literally, I want to say a month or two later, I moved back to my hometown with him, and I'm just like, I can't afford to eat. I can't afford to live. So I end up moving back with him and his sister. When I'm with him and his sister, the thing, like, the situation is worth. By this time, the pandemic is getting ready to hit, y'all. Like, things are just getting like really bad for me. Like, his mom had got laid off, so he's having to like pay bills at the house. I don't have a job now because I couldn't transfer back at the Krispy Kreme. Like, I'm just stressed. I had lost like 50 pounds. Like, life is just, y'all, life is just, it's doing me in. So boom, again, every day, every week, I'm asking God, like, please show me a sign. Please show me a sign. And y'all, literally, God had literally threw a stop sign. He dropped the stop sign at my head, because I'm getting tagged in this post, and I'm getting tagged in this post by not like my friends, but it was just people that I knew of in high school, like people that I haven't talked to in years. They're like tagging me in this post, and it's a post of a little boy, and it's a post of a woman saying like happy birthday, and the boy's name is Booger Jr. And I'm just like, happy birthday, Booger Jr. Like, why is everybody tagging me in this post? So I go and I started reading the comments, and everyone is just like, oh, happy birthday, happy birthday. Like, even my boyfriend's sister, like Booger's sisters, they're commenting on this post, and they're saying, happy birthday, nephew, happy birthday, happy birthday. And I'm just thinking, like, nephew? I don't got no kids. How is this your nephew? So they're commenting that, and I'm reading, and finally I land on the comment where Booger comments, and he's like, happy birthday, daddy's son. Mind you, we have been together for 5 years, going on 6 years at this time. And the son, the parent's son, the junior that they was telling happy birthday to, he was turning 2. So I'm just like in disbelief. Like, I can't even believe it. But at the same time, y'all, I'm literally living in his place. I don't have anywhere to go. I did start back working on a temp service job, y'all, but it wasn't bringing in enough money for me to move out to get my own place. My family wasn't really messing with me at that time, just simply because like they were in a good financial situation and they did not want me to be with Booger. So when I find this out, of course, once he comes home, I confront him about it. He disregards the whole thing. Don't say anything about the whole thing. I'm asking him like, oh, is this your son? Is this your son? And he said that he don't know if his son, he had never got the son tested, but he's just saying just in case it is his son, he's claiming the son, but he doesn't even know if his son. And y'all, how did this fool convince me that it wasn't his son? So everyone's tagging me and everyone's calling me, like even my friends from like my school, like friends that I haven't talked to for years, they're calling me, asking me like, are y'all still together? Like what's going on? Basically trying to get the scoop on what's going on. And again, y'all, I block everyone out. I'm blocking everybody. I'm not talking to anyone because I'm literally embarrassed. And at the same time, I convinced myself, like I'm the Lulu. Like I convinced myself that it wasn't his baby. So anytime anybody asked me about it, I would act delusional. I would just be like, I don't know what you talking about. I don't know what you seen. But no, that's not his baby. He don't got no kids. That was my response to everything because like I said, he told me he don't even know if it's his child, but he's just claiming the child. And yes, I knew that means that he had cheated on me. And at that time, we talked about it. I ended up getting my lick back. I got my lick back, but I still wanted to be with him. Like I loved him. I wanted to be with him. So fast forward, maybe like a month or two after this situation, things are looking a little better for us. We're saving up money now. I'm finally getting my own place and I'm moving in with Booger. We're getting a place together because I couldn't afford to move there by myself. So we're getting this new apartment we got approved for. The rent is $1,300 and it's a 2-bedroom apartment. And you know, I'm happy. Like things are looking a little better for me. I'm working now. I got a permanent job. He's still at the temp service, but you know, the money is coming in. I got an apartment. It don't got nothing in it. Like the refrigerator empty, the refrigerator white, the countertops brown. But I got my own apartment, you know, so I'm happy about that. And at this point, I also end up getting an emotional dog. I end up getting a dog. And at this time, we're gonna go ahead and call my dog Poo Poo. Poo Poo was my heart. Like Poo Poo meant everything to me. Like I couldn't sleep, breathe without Poo Poo. Like he was my emotional support dog. Like the stuff that was going on between me and Booger, it was really getting to me, but Poo Poo was like keeping me up. Like Poo Poo was my dog. So we got Poo Poo. So it's me, Booger, and Poo Poo. We all in this new apartment. And like I said, things are still hard because now we're having to pay big rent. Like we're paying rent that's $1,300-1,500 after utilities and everything. So stuff is getting hard for us. But you know, we're sticking it out because there's nothing like having your own. So fast forward, not even like a month of us being in this apartment, Booger's sisters come to me and they're just like, hey, hardhead, is there any way that we can go ahead and rent out one of those rooms? Not for long, but just for maybe like a month or two until we get ourselves together. And I personally wanted to say no, but that's Booger's sister. So he was just like, yeah, we was just living with my family and my sisters, so why can't my sisters come live with us? I already knew it was gonna go bad. Like I already knew it wasn't a good idea because it's just like, one, I really didn't know how to feel with the sisters. The sisters already looked at them different because they knew it was a possibility that he had a child, but they were in my face, kiki laughing, and they literally slept in the next bed next to me and they never mentioned anything to me. And this speculation had been going on for 2 years that he had a child and y'all never said anything to me. Like I'm the only one in the blind. Like I'm the only one that's Ray Charles. So boom. Fast forward to them moving in because he wanted them to move in there. They moved into the other room, his two sisters, and I want to say it was literally the following month. It came down to them. We got into this big argument about whose food was this, whose food for that, and literally, y'all, it wasn't none of our foods. It was the government's food because we was on EBT. But we got in this big argument. She claimed that I was touching her food. I was cooking her food. And at the end of the day, y'all, this is my house. Yes, I would have loved them to be there because they was helping make ends meet with the rent. Because the rent was, you know, I couldn't afford the rent. And we were having to pay other bills late just to pay our rent. We were like barely making it. So I ended up kicking the sisters out. And Booger, he agreed that we needed to kick them out because the sisters were nothing but drama the whole day. And we honestly didn't think that they was going to have their portion of the rent. So fast forward, Me and Booger, we're still together, and like I said, it's our 6-year anniversary coming up, and I basically gave him the ultimatum, like, it's either we getting married this year or I'm leaving. Like, we getting married or I'm leaving. So I'm telling him this, and I've been asking him about this for like years. Like, I've been hinting, saying I want to get married. Like, I want to be engaged. Like, I'm a very spiritual person, so I don't want us to be, just, slacking and just living together and we're not married. So I said on our 6th anniversary, if we're not married, then I don't think we should be together. So I proposed this to him, and I'm thinking, like, I just know, like, on our anniversary, he's coming home with a ring. Like, I just know I'm getting proposed to, y'all. So on our 6th anniversary, I ended up getting off work, and when I came home, the house was empty. The house was literally empty. Like, he literally just got up and he left. He didn't talk to me about anything. He didn't tell me where he went. Like, he got up and he left. And again, this happened shortly after me kicking his sisters off, so I didn't really have no one to call. Like, when I tried to call his sister and his family, they were still mad at me. They wasn't picking up the phone. Like, he literally left. And I'm like, obviously I'm heartbroken because he decided to leave, but at the same time, we had been together for so long. So why you couldn't tell me? Like, why you couldn't tell me that you was leaving? Like, why did you have to leave this way? Like, he literally cleared out the hair drawer, the boxer drawer, like the sock drawer. When a man clears out the sock drawer, that's how you know he going for good. Like, everything was going, y'all. All of his clothes was going, shoes was going. Like, he even took food out the refrigerator that was mine. Like, he was done. He was gone. So fast forward, I'm literally talking to my mom about the situation. I'm telling her he left. I'm telling all my friends. My friends are, we're still in college age. Like, we're all struggling. I can't ask them for anything. I'm literally applying for loans to try to, be able to pay the next month rent because I don't want an eviction on my credit. So I'm literally trying to figure everything out, y'all. I'm literally trying, but I couldn't afford the rent. Like, my checks were coming in to be only like $600 every 2 weeks, and then my rent was $1,500 after everything. So I'm trying to figure out, like, it was a very pivotal point in my life. Like, I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna be able to pay the rent and still like live and go to work, and like, I'm trying to figure it out. So boom. Fast forward, I'm on the Facebook group me, and this group me is basically an apartment and a subleasing group me. So I'm in the group me, I'm taking pictures of the entire apartment, and I put up an ad saying that I have a room available for $800. You can move in as soon as possible because this is the only way I'm gonna be able to afford to pay my rent. So I put this ad up there, and a whole bunch of people end up hitting my DM saying that can they come by to view the unit. So that following day, I end up taking off work, and a couple people came by and they viewed the unit. I told them that I had a dog. It's just me and my dog here, and then that's the situation. Like, it's just me and my dog, and I just need a roommate or whatever. So out of the probably 10 or so people that came, it was this one family that came in particular that I actually really liked. Like, the mom was friendly. We're gonna go ahead and call the mom, we're gonna call her, I'm gonna call her Audacity, because she had the audacity, y'all. We don't call her Audacity, we'll call the dad, and then we'll call the child. So she had like a 2-year-old child, y'all. So that's that. So the child comes, the dad comes, and Audacity comes. They come and they view the place. And me and the mom, we just end up having a heart-to-heart. Like, I'm telling her that my spouse, my boyfriend of 6 years, he just up and he left. And I'm just, I'm in a very low place in my life or whatever, and I just need help. She ends up telling me a heart-to-heart, telling me that her and her family were literally about to have to go to the shelter because they can no longer afford to pay for like hotels and things. Like, the hotel bills were adding up. So we're both in a very like low space in our life, and I feel like we connected and we bond with that. So I told her they can move in as soon as possible. Like, literally the same day that they came to view the place, they moved in that same day. They started moving, they started moving stuff in because, like they said, they could no longer afford to pay for the hotel. So they moved in, and I'm a little hopeful about the future because it's just like, all right, now I'm getting my stuff together. They're going to be able to help pay a little more than half of the rent because they're paying the $800. And I even moved out of my master bedroom and gave them that room because they were in there with a family, and I moved it into the extra bedroom, y'all. So, they're there, and for the first few weeks, things are going good. Like I said, I was getting EBT at this time, so I would cook, and when I would cook, I would give Audacity something to eat. I would offer her husband something to eat. Like, you know, things is going very, very well. Like, things is going well. So the first issue, I think that it started to go sour with Audacity because how comfortable I was in my house. Like, I get hot. Like, I'm the type of person that like to have the AC on 63. Like, I want it to be Antarctica in my house at all times. That's just me. When I'm home, I like to wear shorts and I like to wear t-shirts. Of course, I'm not wearing panties and bra around the house or walking around naked because there's a male in the house now, but I'm still wearing my shorts. I'm still wearing my tank tops. I'm still comfortable. So the first thing that I peeped that I felt like Audacity had a problem with was how I was dressing around my house. And a lot of times her husband or her boyfriend, he wouldn't even be home. Like, he would not be home, but the times when he was home, I would make sure like to wrap up in a blanket. But I just remember this time in particular where he was home and I did not know he was home, and I was in the kitchen cooking, and I turned around and I had on some shorts, and I remember Audacity sitting on the couch with her daughter, and immediately she calls him, and she's just like go in the room all aggressively. And this was the first time me hearing her act like have any animosity towards me or her husband. So I'm just like what is that about? But she didn't say anything to me. She was just like go in the room, and I'm thinking she was saying that because for what I had on. So I continued cooking. I served her husband, and that was that. Like, we watched TV together. Her daughter also like loved my dog. Like, her daughter will always be playing with my dog. Like, everything was going gravy. So fast forward a few weeks later, again, everything is going well. Like, that was the only time I noticed any red flag with her, and I was mindful of that because, like I said, I needed them to be there to pay the rent, and they're there. So fast forward, it's 3 months into them being there. For the most part, we didn't really have much problems. The only thing I would notice is every once in a while, she would be on the phone talking to her friends out loud, or she would just be talking like loud. But y'all, it was coming to a point where my lease was about to get ready and be up. So fast forward months later, my lease is about to be up, and my dog Poo Poo, he's getting really sick. I end up changing his food, and his face basically breaks out in like hives. Like, he's breaking out, and he has all these little red bumps and rashes around his face. I took him to the vet, and the vet, it was just saying like we should try to change his food. It's not contagious. Like, the vet tested him or whatever, and I got ointment to put on his face. And at this time, I'm letting Audacity know, like, hey, your daughter cannot play with Poo Poo because he's gonna have ointment on his face, and he might be very irritable at this time. So I don't want him to try to snap at her or bite her because he's not feeling the best at this time. He's ill. So I let her know that or whatever. She says okay. Later on that night, I overhear her on the phone because, mind you, the rooms are neck to neck. I overhear her on the phone, and she's on the phone and she's telling somebody, oh, her dog is nasty and it stank. The whole house stank. I don't see how she can live like that. She need to spend money to get her dog checked out. So I hear this, and I'm like, literally, I got an ear to the wall. Because who are you talking about? You the person with no home. So I'm listening, door to the ear. And she closes the conversation with, I'm gonna have to talk to her. So in my brain, I'm thinking, oh, great. Like, we definitely need to talk because, you're talking out loud and you on the phone and you're speaking like that in my house. So, like, what's the issue? So that happens. She don't say nothing to me that night. The next morning, I'm getting ready to go out for work. And as I'm going out for work, I hear a voice, and it's Audacity. And she's like, hey, Hardhead, can I speak to you really quick? And I'm like, yeah, what's up? And she was like, I want to talk to you about your dog. Your dog doesn't smell good. He has the whole house stinking up. Did you get him checked? Because she's basically going in about the way he smells, the way the house smells, the fact that he has hives all over his face and it's irritable. And she's basically pressing the issue, saying that she think it's dangerous for her daughter to be here. And she doesn't want her daughter to get affected by this because she's saying that it could be contagious. And did I take the dog to the vet? Like, she's saying, I will offer to give you money, but did you take the dog to the vet? And I'm like, oh yeah, my dog is fine. He's just allergic to his food. And I just go about my way. So as I'm walking out the house, y'all, she is like, I can hear her talking, but like I said, I'm on my way to work. So I hear her talking, and I'm just like, oh, that's very rude for you to still be talking about the situation after I just told you what the issue was with the dog. So literally, I'm walking out the door. As I'm closing, like I walked out the door, I'm locking the door, and as in the middle of locking the door, she's just like, "Damn, that dog stinks," and she's continuing to talk about it amongst her and her husband. So that happens or whatever. And this is also around the time where my lease is getting ready to come to an end. And I'm thinking, like, I honestly don't even want them in my house now because, one, who is she to come to me? Like, you a person without a home. So why would you be coming to me, speaking to me this way and talking about my dog to me? Like, you knew I had a dog before I even moved into the house. So why would you be speaking to me this way? And I honestly don't want to have to live here anymore. Like, I can't afford this place for myself anymore. I don't want to live here anymore. Like, it's just a whole lot going on. Y'all were great when y'all were here, but I don't want to live here anymore. And she had also disclosed to me that it was hard for her to get an apartment on her own for her and her family because she had an eviction on her credit and all types of things on her credit that caused her not to be able to get a place. So fast forward, I want to say it was literally the next day, and I was thinking about it, and I was literally thinking about it all work shift. Like, my lease is coming to an end it was coming to an end about 2 months, y'all. At this point, I was still struggling. Like, I was not able to pay my portion of the rent without someone staying there. So I'm just gonna, like, let me go ahead and let them know, like, hey, I'm not going to be renewing my lease. And I came to her, was very poised, didn't come to her I didn't come to her combative or acting crazy. I just came to her and just like, hey, I knocked on her room door and I'm just like, hey, Audacity, is your husband home? And she's like, yeah, he's in here. And I'm like, all right, I need to speak to y'all. They come out to the kitchen and I'm letting them know, like, hey, I'm not going to be renewing my lease anymore. And y'all, that's when all hell breaks loose. That's when all hell breaks loose. And y'all, quick interlude. This part of the story time, Hardhead did send me video of the situation of what was going on. She recorded the situation and she sent it in. I don't want to expose, it's a child running around in this video and I'm not going to expose a child or these people. So what I'm going to do is play the audio clip and I'm going to put it in the video. It's about 7 minutes long. So y'all will be able to hear the incident and what was going on. Because this is where it gets a little crazy right here. And I'm going to give my commentary at the end of this. But this right here basically concludes the story time. But hold on, let me go ahead and find it. Because she sent this to me via email. I'm gonna go ahead and play this. I'm gonna actually put the clip in the video so we can listen to it together, y'all. Okay, so it's 8 minutes and 20 seconds. Whoo, baby. Oh, also, again, her child was present, so if y'all hear a little child in the background, try to like hear past that, because as the longer the video plays, you'll be able to hear the communication between Audacity and Hardhead. Okay. That's the child, y'all. That's the child.
Well, basically, what I had wanted to say was, I know I told y'all I was renewing, but I changed my mind, and
the couch,
November 1st is still the deadline of when we got to be out of here, and y'all still gonna get y'all $150 deposit whenever y'all leave.
How's that so? Did you give them a writing 60-day notice, or
yes, I did. I already filled out the necessary paper.
Why did you change your mind?
Because of the agreement, the disagreement we had the other day. But that was quick. It is what it is, though. So I'm not. Well, if that's the case, hear me out. If that's the case, we're gonna have to try to get the hell out of here ASAP. I'm not gonna wait till November to try to look for no place, and that don't make any sense. What you just saying to us, because I know what is what. It takes 60 days, and it's been 60 days after you just turn in that rent. So I'm simply saying no. I'm simply saying she don't want to renew it. Fine, I don't give a fuck. Then we just want to do what we need to do.
So you reneged on your agreement because of the disagreement you and my wife had.
Well, we discussed about the dog and the smell, and and it is what it is. You shouldn't catch feelings about it. It's the truth on how that dog smelled. And you know what, too? The sad thing about it, when you brought up my cousin, she was going to be the same person who was going to loan me that money to take your dog to the vet. You understand what I'm saying? Because it costs money Take your dog to the vet. Because if you don't know if it's a food allergy or not, you're not a veterinarian.
I do know what it is, though.
What I'm saying
So if it is a food allergy and you change the food, right? How come he's not improving?
He is improving.
He's not. I just checked your dog.
Okay.
I just checked.
But you're not a veterinarian either.
I'm not. But I seen what I'm not, and I went online research. I kind of same shit you did.
Okay.
That's the same thing I did.
Okay.
What's up?
Oh man, I'm getting. Hey, that's fine. You ain't renewing lease, fine. It is what it is.
So it was a misunderstanding about my wife telling you about your dog.
Is that and I changed my mind.
No, because she's mad about she's in a feeling about her dog.
If I was mad, I would have just replaced y'all and got new roommates. I just don't want to renew. I don't want to be in this no more. I don't want to do it. It's something I don't want to do anymore.
Fine.
I want to get something I can afford on my own and don't have to depend on anyone. So,
Exactly.
I mean,
but basically is what you've been doing because you've been dependent on us. You couldn't even come up with your half of the damn rent. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the thing and that's what I feel the same way, to be honest with you, because I feel like you're irresponsible. You're not responsible, reliable about your rent. You can't even come up with your half. We have our half. You couldn't even come up with yours. So I'm glad you made a decision not to renew because I was damn sure feeling some type of way. When I know you heard me on the phone when I called my husband that same night when we got another disagreement. I've said I don't want to be here no more because she's irresponsible, she's not reliable, and you can't even pay your bills. Okay. So good. Wrapping this shit up. So if that's the case, you want to find something by October because we ain't even gonna try to stay here to November. Why the fuck I look like paying almost a $1,500 bill for October that I gotta worry about trying to get out of here for November? No.
Okay, so how soon?
That's not how you gonna use me and my husband. That's not how you gonna use me.
I'm not trying to use y'all. If y'all want to leave before October 1st.
No, we ain't gonna leave no damn before October 1st. We gonna leave to motherfucker when we pay that goddamn rent. That was September 15th. Or whenever you turn in that fucking rent, that's when we gonna move the fuck up out of here. So we'll have enough time, enough money to come up and move to our next place.
No,
you have me fucked up. You have me fucked up if you think you gonna tell me I got up to October the 1st when you just paid this fucking rent. And I just gave you my money. All my check. You got me fucked up around here. You think that's gonna happen?
Okay. What I'm saying is the rent that we paid was for September. I'm saying you're saying October. You're saying you don't want to pay you say you don't want to pay for October and have to move. So I'm saying if you don't want to pay for October, if you consider leaving before then, that's fine. You know, because October starts a whole nother month, a whole nother rent. I'm not using you at all.
I care you ain't. I care you not.
I'm not.
Because that's the case, Mama. Listen, if that's the case, you should have got your situation straightened out when we first came here, but instead you quit your job. You understand? You quit your job.
Yeah, I understand what I did. Nobody plans for their spouse.
Okay, go ahead,
nobody plans for their spouse to leave them. I know I was gonna make sure I had October rent on my own with my new job that I have and working for the temp agency. So
are you certain you're not going to renew you?
I'm certain.
You certain? Say no more. You know, it just hurt me to see how you.
Approach her about that dog and how state this house is. And it is what it is, though. It is what it is. Because you feeling some type of way, I'm feeling some type of way.
It's not even about feelings. I'm looking at the future. Like, my dog is always going to be here. My dog is always...
Listen, your dog is going to be here.
So, whether you like it or not...
That's your responsibility to take care of your fucking dog. That's your responsibility to spend money on your dog.
But when you came here, you signed it. You know I had a dog. So,
okay, I'm cool.
All of a sudden...
I'm cool all of a sudden, like... But I'm not cool when you don't have... I'm not cool with the fact...
Rocky ain't no problem.
Yeah, I'm not cool with the fact that something wrong with your fucking dog. And my daughter like being around your dog and touching your dog. Right. That she could be contagious. You don't know and I don't know.
I do know that.
You don't fucking know. You don't know shit.
Have you seen his shot record? I mean,
have you seen him right now?
Have you got him tested? Have you got him tested 3 times?
Have you got him tested?
I got my dog tested.
When you took him to the
I got my dog tested. I got my dog tested. I'm pretty aware of what's going on. It don't matter.
What happened, real?
Are you going to listen to what?
To the veterinarian.
All right, so let's get this right here. All right.
Turn about.
Cool. You already got your mind made up.
Yes,
right.
I did.
Cool. Say no more. Done. Say no more. We have to find a place, and I'll let you know. We're gonna leave.
And we will.
All right, and when you guys get ready to leave, I'm getting y'all $150 deposit. You know.
That's no problem.
So.
No problem. Say no more. Done.
You give me back my $200. That's the case. Cause I pay extra money for this month rent. That's what you can be giving me back. You give me back my $200 plus my $150.
Y'all, so that's pretty much where the video ends. And then she goes on to say shortly after that clip, they end up, well, not the husband, but Audacity ends up beating her up, and the husband was restraining her basically while she was getting beat up, and they had to call the police. Again, 2 months passed and she did not renew her lease there because, like she said, she wanted to move into somewhere that was much more affordable for her. So that pretty much concludes the story time, and now I want to get my spin on it. I pretty much heard this recording and watched this. I watched this video like 3 times. I honestly wish I could show y'all the video and how combative this lady was. Like, you have the audacity to be a person without a home and to be making rules, and you don't have any liberty in her house. Like, why would you be telling her about her dog and this and that? Like she said, before you moved in there, you had already known that she had a dog, 1. And then 2, if you're not okay with the way her dog smells or how she treats her dog or how often she take her dog to the vet, that means that you need to go find a home or a place for you and your family. I feel like you can't be choosy in this situation because, you know, it's her place at the end of the day. 1, and then 2, even if she did decide to renew the lease, I think she should have replaced the Audacity and her husband as a roommate anyway, because you got way too comfortable. You were literally talking about her to your husband and friends, and then you was cussing her out, and then you had the nerve to jump on her in your house. Like, I feel like this whole situation, obviously it could have been avoided. I understand, hard head, you was in a hard place at that time and you needed a roommate, but they have roommate websites, like roommate matching websites, other than Facebook or like Craigslist and all these other crazy sites that people find roommates. I would definitely never go through Facebook. You can't even do a background check on these people. You don't know if these people just got out of jail. I know you said they was nice and they was sweet and they was in a difficult place, and you all were both in a difficult place, and you know you sympathize with them on that, but that situation was just completely crazy. The only advice that I can give is I hope you're in a better place now, girl. And again, if you're in a hard place, look for a roommate matching website, like an official website where people have to, like where there's stipulation on their background and who the person is, not just a person that's fell on a hard time. She probably fell on a hard time because of her attitude, because that's crazy to be talking to you crazy like that. And then she also, it seemed like she didn't believe you, and she was also already kind of hostile because she was like, well, did you give them a 60-day notice? How you gave them 60 notice? Like, I don't know. It seemed like there was some built up animosity. I don't know if it was more to the story than what you told me, but she was just a little too hostile about that. I understand that she don't got no good credit and it's hard for her to find a place, but for her to try to deboing to you to staying in a place that you cannot afford for a whole nother year just for her and her family's sake is malarkey. Like, be for real. But yeah, y'all, that's the end of the story time. Also, if I said anything out the way or if I told any part of your story incorrectly, girl, please feel free to comment. Again, y'all, comment down below, let y'all know how we feel about this situation, because I honestly feel like this was a good story time. I just wish I had a little more background, but this is crazy. And again, I know you titled this video, y'all, she titled this and saying that this was like this guy ruined her life, but I personally don't think Booger ruined your life. I feel like it was a blessing in disguise. Like, you wanted to be with him, you wanted to marry him, but God was throwing so many signs on you, telling you like, he is not the one, he is not the one, he is not the one for you, and you just wanted him to be the one. And I felt like you were, you know, you were reaping what you were sowing. Like, you kept trying to go this way and God was saying go this way, and you was hurting yourself even more because you just wouldn't listen. And finally, when you let him go, I feel like things went better for you. Like, a man that's for you, he would definitely not leave you with bills that he know you couldn't afford. A man that's not for you, he's definitely not gonna live off of you and eat off of you. Like, it honestly wasn't meant. It was a blessing in disguise, and I'm happy that he chose to disregard our relationship and end it the way he did, because that was the only sign. Like, it seemed like you was not gonna leave this man unless he left you. So I'm happy that things ended the way it did, because I'm I'm pretty sure, girl, you in a better place. And please give us a little update because I'm nosy. But yeah, y'all, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see y'all in my next story time. And if y'all would like to submit a subscriber story time, send them to my email down below. And